My name is Megan Holloway. I'm 28 years old. And 3 months ago, my parents handed me keys to what they called my inheritance. A falling apart rural house with a sagging roof, rotting floors, and no running water. My twin sister, Ashley, got a luxury downtown apartment worth $280,000. My parents said, "Ashley needs stability, you're handy, you'll figure it out." I did figure it out. I renovated that wreck into a beautiful home, invested $12,000 and 400 hours of my own labor. New floors, new plumbing, custom cabinets I built myself. And yesterday, when my parents showed up unannounced with Ashley, planning to take the house away from me and give it to her, I pulled out a document that made my father go white. A trust deed. From my grandmother Evelyn, dated 15 years ago, the land the house sits on. It was never my parents' to give. It's been mine since I was 13. Before I tell you about the moment my mother realized she'd been planning to steal property that legally belonged to me, how my sister broke down admitting she'd lost her apartment to debt collectors, and what my uncle said when he found out my parents had also stolen my $42,380 college fund to pay for Ashley's life. Tell me this. What time is it where you are, and where are you watching from? Because this story about assumptions is about to show you what happens when the child everyone underestimated owns everything they tried to take. Let me start at the beginning, because the story of how my parents treated me differently than Ashley starts the day we were born. Ashley and I are fraternal twins, born 3 minutes apart in March 1997. From day one, we were different. Ashley was the pretty one, social, outgoing, made friends easily. I was quiet, tomboyish, preferred building things with my hands to going to parties. My parents Robert and Susan Holloway made it clear early who their favorite was. When we were 8, Ashley wanted ballet lessons. My parents immediately signed her up. $150 a month. I wanted woodworking classes at the community center. That's not appropriate for girls. Why can't you be more like your sister? When we were 12, Ashley got a new bedroom set, white furniture from Pottery Barn, $2,500. I got hand-me-downs from a cousin. When we were 16, Ashley got a car for her birthday, a used Honda Civic, $8,000. I got a toolbox from the hardware store. $60. You're more practical, my mother said. You don't need the things Ashley needs. I learned early, Ashley was the one they invested in. I was the one expected to make do. The pattern continued through high school and college. Ashley went to the state university. 4-year degree in communications. My parents paid her tuition, room, and board, about $18,000 a year for 4 years. Total, $72,000. I went to community college for 2 years, then transferred to a trade school for carpentry and furniture restoration. Took out $15,000 in student loans. My parents contributed nothing. Ashley's getting a real degree, my father said. Carpentry is just a trade. You can pay for that yourself. After college, Ashley got a marketing job making $42,000 a year. My parents helped her with rent for the first year, $12,000 in total support. I started my own furniture restoration business, making about $35,000 a year at first, working out of a rented workshop space. My parents' reaction: "When are you going to get a real job?" I have a real job. I restore antique furniture. I build custom pieces. That's a hobby, not a career. By age 25, I was making $58,000 a year, had built a solid client base, was featured in a local design magazine for a custom dining table I'd built. My parents never mentioned it, never congratulated me, never acknowledged my success. But when Ashley got promoted to senior marketing coordinator at age 26, they threw her a party, posted about it on Facebook. So proud of our successful daughter. I wasn't even in the post. Last year, my grandmother Evelyn died. She was my father's mother, 92 years old. Sharp until the end, I'd always been close to Grandma Evelyn. She was the only one who valued my skills, who came to my workshop and admired my work, who told me I was talented and smart. "Your parents don't see you clearly," she'd tell me, "but I do. You're going to do amazing things." When she died, I was heartbroken, lost the one person in my family who truly saw me, 2 weeks after her funeral, my parents called a family meeting. "We need to discuss your inheritance," my father said. "Inheritance? From your grandmother. She left some property, a house in the country, about 40 minutes from here." "She left me a house." My mother jumped in. "She left property to the family. We're distributing it between you and Ashley." "How are you distributing it?" My father pulled out papers. "Ashley is getting the downtown apartment. It's a 1-bedroom in the Pearl District. Very nice. Worth about $280,000. "Okay, and what am I getting?" "The country house. It's on 10 acres. Needs some work, but you're handy. You'll make it nice." "Can I see it?" "We'll take you this weekend." That Saturday, we drove 40 minutes outside the city to rural farmland, turned down a gravel road, pulled up to what I can only describe as a ruin. The house was a disaster. Roof sagging in the middle, shingles missing. Front porch rotted through in places. Windows cracked or missing entirely. Siding falling off. Overgrown yard, trees pressing against the structure. My father unlocked the door. The interior was worse. Floors rotted through in multiple spots. Walls water damaged and moldy. No functioning plumbing, pipes had burst years ago. Electrical wiring exposed and dangerous. Kitchen appliances from the 1970s, rusted and broken. Bathroom unusable, toilet cracked, tub rusted through. I stood in the wreckage of what was supposed to be my inheritance. "This is it." "It's a fixer-upper," my mother said cheerfully. "Perfect for you. Ashley gets a $280,000 apartment in perfect condition. I get this. Ashley needs a nice place. She has a professional career. You work with your hands. You can fix this up. This needs at least $50,000 in repairs, maybe more. You're exaggerating. A little paint and elbow grease and it'll be fine." I walked through the house, documenting everything with my phone. The extent of the damage was staggering. Conservative estimate to make it livable. New roof, $12,000. Plumbing throughout, $8,000. Electrical rewiring, $6,000. New floors, $5,000. Drywall and insulation, $4,000. Kitchen, $8,000. Bathroom, $5,000. Windows, $3,000. Miscellaneous repairs, $4,000. Total, $55,000 minimum. And that's if I did a lot of the work myself. I turned to my parents. "This isn't fair. This isn't equal. Ashley's getting $280,000. I'm getting a house that needs $55,000 in repairs." My father shrugged. "Life isn't fair. You're getting a house on 10 acres. That's valuable." "The land might be valuable, but the house is worthless in its current state." "Then don't take it, walk away, but Ashley's getting the apartment. That's decided." I stood there in that ruined house and made a decision. I'd take it, not because it was fair, but because I'd prove I could transform this wreck into something beautiful. And maybe, just maybe, my parents would finally see what I was capable of. I was wrong about that last part, but I was right about transforming the house. I moved into the house in February 2024. Well, moved in is generous. I set up a camping cot in the one room that had structurally sound floors. I had $15,000 in savings. I spent $12,000 on materials, did all the labor myself. Month 1, February, roof and structural asterisk. First priority, stop the water damage. I hired a roofing company for the actual roof work. I'm skilled, but roofing a whole house solo is dangerous. Cost, $11,000. While they worked on the roof, I ripped out all rotted flooring, removed water-damaged drywall, gutted the bathroom and kitchen completely, removed dangerous electrical wiring, cleared the overgrown yard. Hours worked, 180 hours, roughly 12 hours day, 6 days week for 2.5 weeks. Month 2, March, plumbing and electrical. I hired a licensed plumber to run new lines. I assisted to save costs. Total, $6,000. I hired an electrician to rewire the house to code. Again, I assisted. Total, $4,500. I installed new subfloor throughout. Did it myself. Materials, $2,800. Hours worked, 160 hours. Month 3, April, finishing. I installed new drywall throughout. Textured and painted everything. Did it all myself. Materials, $1,200. I built custom kitchen cabinets from white oak, my specialty. 8 base cabinets, 12 upper cabinets, plus a kitchen island. Materials, $2,500. Labor, 80 hours. I installed luxury vinyl plank flooring throughout. Looks like hardwood, waterproof, DIY-friendly. Materials, $1,800. I renovated the bathroom myself. New toilet, vanity, tile shower, flooring. Materials, $1,600. I installed new windows. Materials, $2,400. I restored the original brick fireplace that had been hidden behind drywall. I built built-in bookshelves in the living room. I added a mudroom with custom bench and storage. Hours worked, 180 hours. Total investment, asterisk. Materials and hired help, $33,800. Wait, that's more than my budget. Let me recalculate more realistically with my actual budget. Roof, $11,000, hired company, non-negotiable for safety insurance. Plumbing, $4,200, hired plumber for complex work, did simple stuff myself. Electrical, $3,200, hired electrician for panel complex work, did outlet switch work myself. Subfloor, $1,800, did myself. Drywall and paint, $900, did myself. Kitchen cabinets, $1,500, built myself with reclaimed white oak from a barn demo I got cheap. Kitchen island, $400, built from reclaimed wood. Flooring, $1,200, luxury vinyl plank, installed myself. Bathroom, $1,400, did all work myself. Windows, $1,600, installed myself. Fixtures and hardware, $800. Miscellaneous supplies and tools, $1,200. Total, $29,200. I went over budget by $17,200. Took out a small personal loan for $10,000. Used $7,200 from my business account. By the end of April, the house was transformed. From the outside, new roof, dark charcoal gray. Fresh white siding. Black trim and shutters. New windows. Wraparound porch rebuilt with composite decking. Landscaping cleaned up, flower beds planted. From the inside, open concept living kitchen dining. Custom white oak cabinets and island. Restored brick fireplace as focal point. Built-in bookshelves. Luxury vinyl flooring that looked like aged oak. Renovated bathroom with subway tile and modern fixtures. 2 bedrooms, 1 converted to home office workshop space. Everything painted in warm neutrals, grayish walls, white trim, black fixtures. Total time invested, 400+ hours of my labor. The house was worth easily $220,000 now, maybe more. I turned a $0 wreck into a valuable home using mostly my own skills and sweat equity. I was so proud. I took photos, posted them on Instagram. My clients and friends went wild. Comments like, "This is incredible. You're so talented." The before and after is unbelievable. My parents' response when I texted them photos, "Looks nice. Glad you found something to do with it." No congratulations, no acknowledgement of the massive amount of work, just dismissal. I should have been used to it, but it still hurt. What I didn't know at the time, my parents had never owned the land. My grandmother Evelyn had placed the 10 acres and the house in a revocable trust in 2010. I was 15. The trust named me as sole beneficiary. The property would transfer to me upon her death. My grandmother had told my father about the trust, had given him a copy of the trust documents. My father had hidden them, never told me. And when Grandma Evelyn died, he'd presented the house to me as if it were his to give. I found out the truth completely by accident. In May, 2 months after finishing the renovation, I decided to get homeowner's insurance. The camping cot and renovation in progress insurance I'd had wasn't sufficient for a finished home. The insurance agent asked for the property deed. I called my father. "Hey, I need the deed for the house for insurance purposes." "Why?" To get proper homeowner's insurance now that the renovation is done. Long pause. I'll have to look for it. I'll get back to you. He never did. After 2 weeks of him dodging my calls, I went to the county recorder's office myself. I requested the property records for the address. The clerk came back with documents. Here you go. Property owned by the Evelyn Holloway Revocable Trust, transferring to Megan Holloway upon death of trustee. Transfer finalized March 2024. I stared at the paper. This says I own the property, not my parents. That's correct. The trust transferred the property to you when Evelyn Holloway passed away. You're listed as the current owner. My father gave me this house as an inheritance. He made it sound like he was giving it to me. The clerk smiled sympathetically. Looks like he was just following the trust terms. The property was never his. It was always going to you. I sat in my car in the parking lot and cried. My grandmother had left this property to me. Not to my parents, not to split between me and Ashley, to me specifically, intentionally, and my father had hidden it, presented it as his gift, taken credit for something he'd never owned. I drove home and searched the house. In the attic, in an old trunk, I found documents my grandmother had left, the trust papers, and a letter, Dear Megan asterisk. If you're reading this, I've passed on. I'm sorry, I can't be there to see what you've done with the property. I'm leaving you the 10 acres and the house because I know you'll see the potential. Your father never did. He sees the wreck. You'll see the bones. The house was my childhood home. It fell into disrepair after my parents died. I couldn't bear to sell it, but I couldn't afford to fix it either. I always knew you were the one with the skills and vision to restore it, to make it a home again. Your parents don't understand your worth. They see Ashley's superficial success and miss your real substance. This property is yours, not theirs to give, yours by my choice. Build something beautiful, live the life you deserve. All my love asterisk. Grandma Evelyn. I sat on the floor of my beautiful, restored home and sobbed. My grandmother had seen me, had valued me, had given me this gift because she believed in me, and my father had tried to make it seem like his idea, his generosity. I didn't confront my parents immediately. I consulted a lawyer first. My friend Daniel, who I'd known since high school, was an attorney. I showed him everything. Your father committed fraud, Daniel said. He presented property he didn't own as if it were his to give. That's fraudulent misrepresentation. Can I do anything about it? You could sue. But honestly, you already own the property. The trust is clear. You're the legal owner. I just sit tight, keep these documents safe, and wait. Wait for what? For whatever your father's planning, because men who hide trust documents usually have a reason. Daniel was right. 3 weeks later, my mother called. Megan, your father and I want to come see the house. We're bringing Ashley this Saturday. Okay, what's the occasion? We want to have a family gathering, celebrate your hard work, kind of a housewarming party. A party? Yes. We've invited some relatives. Uncle Thomas, Aunt Marie, a few cousins, about 20 people, Saturday at 2 p.m. Mom, that's in 2 days. That's not enough notice. We already invited everyone. They're all coming. See you Saturday. She hung up. I called Daniel immediately. They're planning something, a party with witnesses. This is bad. What do you think they're doing? I think they're going to try to take the house, give it to Ashley, and use the party as social pressure to make you comply. Can they do that? Not legally. But they might try to manipulate you in front of family, make you look unreasonable if you refuse. What should I do? Have the trust documents ready and invite me to the party. I'll bring my briefcase, professional backup. Saturday came, I was ready. At 1:45 p.m., cars started arriving. Uncle Thomas, my father's brother, Aunt Marie, my mother's sister, various cousins, about 20 people total. My parents arrived at 2 p.m. with Ashley. Ashley looked stressed, tired. She'd lost weight, dark circles under her eyes. My father was all smiles. Everyone, welcome to Megan's house. We're here to celebrate her hard work. People toured the house, owed and awed over the renovation. Megan, this is incredible. You did all this yourself. The kitchen is gorgeous. I accepted compliments while watching my parents and Ashley huddle in the corner, whispering. At 2:30, my father clinked a glass. Everyone, can I have your attention? The room quieted. Thank you all for coming. We're here today for a special reason. As you know, we gave Megan this house 3 months ago as part of her inheritance from her grandmother Evelyn. Murmurs of acknowledgement. Megan has done an amazing job fixing it up, really transformed the place. We're so proud. I waited, here it comes. However, we've had a change in family circumstances. Ashley has encountered some financial difficulties. She's going to need to move out of her apartment. Ashley looked at the floor. After much discussion, Susan and I have decided that it makes more sense for Ashley to live here. Megan has her workshop and her business. She doesn't really need a house this size. And Ashley needs stability right now. The room went silent. My father continued. So we're asking Megan to give the house to Ashley. Megan can move back to town, get an apartment. We'll help her with rent for a few months. It's the family thing to do. All eyes on me, I took a breath. No. Megan, don't be selfish. Ashley needs this house. You have your business, you'll be fine. No, this is my house. I'm not giving it to Ashley. My mother jumped in. We gave you this house. We can take it back, we're your parents. We decide the inheritance. This was it, the moment. I pulled out my folder, walked to the center of the room. You didn't give me this house. You don't own this house. You never owned this house. My father went pale. Megan, don't. I pulled out the trust document, held it up. This is the Evelyn Holloway Revocable Trust, established in 2010. It places 10 acres and this house in trust for Megan Holloway, to be transferred upon Evelyn's death. I read from the document. Upon the death of the trustee, Evelyn Marie Holloway, all property shall transfer immediately and irrevocably to Megan Rose Holloway, granddaughter, sole beneficiary. Uncle Thomas stood up. Robert, is this true? My father couldn't speak. I pulled out the property deed. This is the current property deed, recorded at the county office. Owner, Megan Holloway, not Robert Holloway, not Susan Holloway, me. I looked at my father. You knew about this trust. Grandma told you. Gave you a copy. You hid it from me. Presented this house as if it were yours to give. Made me believe you were being generous when you were just following Grandma's wishes. My mother found her voice. That's ridiculous. Your father would never. He did. I have Grandma's letter. Want me to read it? Uncle Thomas walked over, took the trust document, read it carefully. Robert, you lied to all of us. You told us you were giving Megan the house as part of dividing Evelyn's estate, but Evelyn already divided it. She left this to Megan specifically. You had no right to treat it as yours to distribute. My father sat down heavily. Ashley spoke for the first time. I didn't know any of this. I turned to her. Why do you need to move out of your apartment? She started crying. I got into debt, credit cards. I owe $62,000. I can't make the payments. The apartment is being foreclosed because I took out a second mortgage to pay the minimums and I defaulted. I'm being evicted next month. The room gasped. How did you get $62,000 in credit card debt? I don't know, shopping, trips. I kept thinking I'd pay it off. I couldn't, it spiraled. My mother tried to salvage this, which is why she needs this house. Megan, please, she's your sister, help her. Help her how? By giving her my house. The house I spent $30,000 and 400 hours renovating. So she can what? Lose it to creditors when she inevitably can't pay the property taxes. You're being cruel. I'm being realistic. Ashley needs financial counseling, a bankruptcy attorney, a budget, not a house she can't maintain. Uncle Thomas looked at my father. Robert, there's something else I need to ask. Megan went to community college and trade school. Ashley went to state university. You paid Ashley's tuition. Why didn't you pay Megan's? My father stammered. Ashley needed a 4-year degree. Megan chose a trade. That's not an answer. Why did you pay for one daughter and not the other? I spoke up because he stole my college fund. The room went dead silent. I pulled out more documents. Grandma Evelyn also set up college funds for both of us, $25,000 each when we were born. By the time we turned 18, mine had grown to $42,380. I showed the bank statements. June 2015, full withdrawal, authorized by Robert Holloway. Where did that money go, Dad? He wouldn't look at me. I turned to Ashley. Did Mom and Dad give you money for college beyond tuition? They gave me $15,000 for a car before school started, and $18,000 for living expenses over 4 years. Total $33,000, close to the $42,380 they stole from my college fund. Ashley looked horrified. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know that was your money. I know, but they knew. They took my college fund and gave it to you, then told me I had to pay for my own education because I chose a trade. Uncle Thomas stood up. Robert, Susan, this is unconscionable. You've been lying to this family for years, stealing from one daughter to give to the other, hiding trusts, manipulating inheritance. My Aunt Marie joined in. Evelyn talked to me before she died, told me she was worried about how you treated Megan, said she was leaving her the property because you'd never value her the way you valued Ashley. I didn't realize how right she was. The relatives started leaving. One by one, disgusted, my parents sat in shock. Ashley was crying. Megan, I'm so sorry. I didn't know any of this. I thought they were just helping me. I didn't know it was your money. I believe you, but you need to leave. This is my house. It's going to stay my house. You need to figure out your debt situation without involving me. She nodded and left. My parents tried one more time. Megan, please, we made mistakes, but we're family. You can't just cut us off. I can and I am. You stole from me, lied to me. Tried to manipulate me in front of witnesses. You need to leave. This isn't over, my father said. Daniel stepped forward. He'd been quiet this whole time. Actually, it is. I'm Megan's attorney. If you attempt to claim any rights to this property, we'll file a fraud suit for the stolen college fund plus interest. That's approximately $78,000 in today's dollars. We'll also pursue charges for fraudulent misrepresentation regarding the trust, so I suggest you leave. Now. They left. The house was silent. Uncle Thomas stayed. Megan, I'm sorry, I should have paid more attention, should have questioned things. It's not your fault. It is, partially, but I want you to know you did the right thing, standing up for yourself. This house is yours, you earned it with your work. And Evelyn chose you for a reason. Thank you. He left. I stood alone in my beautiful house. The house my grandmother had given me because she saw my worth. The house I'd transformed with my own hands. The house my parents had tried to steal and give to my sister. My house. Finally, truly mine. That was 6 months ago. Since then, my life has transformed in ways I never imagined when I was standing in that wreck of a house, being told by my parents to make do. The legal aftermath, *. Daniel helped me formalize everything legally. We filed a formal complaint against my parents for the stolen college fund. Not to get the money back, I didn't need it anymore, but to create a legal record of what they'd done. The court found in my favor. Judgment: $78,400, original $42,380 plus interest calculated over 10 years. My parents couldn't pay. They had to sell some assets, specifically a rental property they owned. The judgment sits on their credit report, a permanent record of what they did. I also discovered something interesting through Daniel's research: the apartment they'd given Ashley. It was never theirs either. It had been purchased by my grandmother Evelyn years ago as an investment property. She'd left it to Ashley in the same trust documents that left me the farmhouse. My parents had simply managed it and made it seem like their gift, just like they'd done with my property. The difference: Ashley's property came with a mortgage that my parents had taken out against it. Ashley inherited the apartment and $180,000 in debt secured against it. She lost it to foreclosure 6 months after moving in. My property, no mortgage, no debt, free and clear. Grandma Evelyn had protected me better than I'd realized. Ashley's journey, *. My sister and I meet for coffee once a month now. She's in therapy, processing a lot. I built my entire identity on being the favorite, she told me in August. When I realized it was all built on theft from you, it shattered everything I thought I knew about myself. You didn't know, I reminded her. But I benefited. I got the car, the college money, the apartment, all while you struggled. And I let them convince me I deserved it more. They manipulated both of us, just in different ways. How did you survive it, all those years of being dismissed? Grandma Evelyn, she saw me. And building things, furniture, the house, it gave me something they couldn't take away. Tangible proof of my worth. Ashley's working now as a sales associate at a retail store, making $32,000 a year, living with 2 roommates, budgeting carefully. It's humbling for her, but she's learning. She told me last month, I never learned to value money because it always just appeared. Now I'm learning what you always knew: you have to work for things, earn them. They're worth more that way. We're not close, but we're honest with each other now. That's something. My parents' situation, asterisk. They've tried multiple approaches to reestablish contact. 1. The guilt trip asterisk, month 1. Letters about how they sacrificed everything for us and I'm being ungrateful. I burned those. 2. The health scare asterisk, month 2. My mother called from my aunt's phone saying my father had a heart attack and was asking for me. I called the hospital. No record of admission. It was a lie. 3. The holiday approach asterisk, month 4, Thanksgiving invitation. Family is family, we should be together. I spent Thanksgiving with Uncle Thomas, teaching a furniture restoration workshop to a group of women at my barn. 4. The lawyer letter asterisk, month 5. Their attorney sent a demand letter claiming I owed them for improvements to the property. Daniel sent back copies of the trust document, the property deed, and a list of every receipt in my name for the renovation. Plus a note that further harassment would result in a restraining order. They stopped. Uncle Thomas's role, asterisk. My father's brother has become the family I needed. He told me something important 3 months ago. Your grandmother called me a month before she died, told me about the trust. Made me promise to watch over you if Robert tried anything shady. You knew. I knew she'd left you the property. I didn't know Robert had stolen your college fund. If I'd known that, I would have intervened sooner. I'm sorry. It's not your fault. I should have paid attention. Should have questioned why you were taking out loans while Ashley got everything paid for. I was a coward. You're here now, that matters. We built a 30x40 workshop together. He's a retired contractor. The skills run in the family, apparently, just not through my father. He brings his tools every Saturday. We work on projects together. He's teaching me advanced framing techniques. I'm teaching him furniture joinery. It's the relationship I should have had with my father. My business growth, asterisk. The magazine feature was titled, From Ruins to Restoration, How One Woman Built Her Dream Home. It included before and after photos, a breakdown of my process, an interview about my business. The response was overwhelming. I got 47 new client inquiries in the first week, 3 requests for custom kitchen cabinet builds, 2 requests for whole home consultations, an invitation to speak at a Women in Trades conference, an offer to write a how-to book about furniture restoration. I raised my rates from $45 an hour to $75 an hour for restoration work. For custom builds, I now charge $5,000 $1,5000 per piece depending on complexity. I'm booked solid through next spring. Annual income projection, $95,000 for 2025. That's more than Ashley ever made in her corporate marketing job. The teaching position, asterisk. The trade school offered me a position teaching furniture restoration and fine woodworking. 2 days a week. $38,000 a year for those 2 days. Combined with my business, total income around $133,000. I accepted. My first class, 12 women ages 1967. All wanting to learn skills they'd been told weren't appropriate for women. I told them about my toolbox birthday gift at age 16, how my parents thought it was a joke, how it became the foundation of my career. Tools aren't gendered, I said. Skills aren't gendered. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trying to limit you. Don't let them. I saw myself in every one of those women. The ones told they should be prettier, more social, more feminine. The ones told their hands-on skills weren't valuable. the ones underestimated because they didn't fit someone else's narrow definition of success. I'm teaching them more than furniture restoration. I'm teaching them what my grandmother taught me: you can build your own worth. The property evolution, asterisk. The house is just the beginning. The 10 acres have become my canvas. Completed projects, asterisk. Spring 2024. Vegetable garden, raised beds, drip irrigation, 40x 30 feet. Chicken coop, houses 12 hens, produces 8-10 eggs daily. Compost system. Fruit tree planting, 6 apple trees, 4 pear trees. Summer 2024. Workshop barn, 30x 40, built with Uncle Thomas. Tool storage and organization. Lumber drying rack. Outdoor shower, for after messy projects. Fall 2024. Trail system through the wooded acres, 2.5 miles of maintained trails. Fire pit area with seating. Greenhouse, 12x16, for winter growing. Herb garden. Planned for 2025, asterisk. Guest cottage for workshop students who travel. Expanded garden area. Beekeeping, 2 hives. Rainwater collection system. The property value has increased significantly. Land, $250,000, $10 acres in a developing area. Main house, $320,000, fully renovated, custom features. Workshop, $45,000, new construction, commercial grade. Other improvements, $15,000. Total estimated value, $630,000. I've built $630,000 in assets from a wreck my parents gave me dismissively. The workshops, asterisk. Once a month I host women build workshops at my property, $200 per person, max 8 women, full day. We work on a project together. Building a bookshelf. Restoring a chair. Creating a cutting board. Installing tile. Includes instruction and materials. Lunch from my garden. Tool use and safety training. Take-home project. I've taught 6 workshops so far, 48 women total. The feedback has been incredible. I never thought I could use a saw. Now I built a whole shelf. My husband was shocked when I redled our bathroom myself. This workshop gave me confidence I didn't know I needed. Revenue from workshops, $9,600 so far. Goes toward tools and materials for future workshops, but the real value isn't the money. It's seeing women discover what they're capable of. The grandmother I never fully knew, asterisk. Going through Grandma Evelyn's things in the attic, I found more than just the trust documents. I found journals. Spanning 40 years, in them she wrote about her frustration with my father. Robert sees only surface, never depth. Pass that to Susan. Poor Megan suffers for it. Her pride in me. Megan fixed the porch railing today, age 12, did it without being asked. That child has her great-grandfather's hands and heart. Her plans for the property: I'm leaving Megan the farmhouse. She'll see what it can be. Robert would sell it for parts. Megan will make it whole. Her concerns about Ashley. Ashley is learning to expect things without earning them. Robert and Susan are creating a fragile creature. She'll struggle when real life hits. She was right about everything. I've been reading 1 journal entry per week, savoring them, getting to know the grandmother who saw me clearly. Last week's entry, from 2009. Megan showed me a table she built in shop class. Dovetail joints, perfect finish. She's 14. I told Robert he should be proud. He said it's just a hobby. How can he not see? This child has a gift, a real one, not Ashley's superficial charm. Megan has substance. She'll build a life that matters. I just need to make sure she has the foundation to do it. She gave me that foundation. The property, the trust, the belief I'm building the life that matters. The family gatherings, asterisk. Uncle Thomas hosts family dinners now, once a month. My parents aren't invited. It's me, Uncle Thomas, Aunt Marie, a few cousins, and sometimes Ashley. We eat, we laugh, we talk about real things, no performative success, no comparing accomplishments. Just family, the kind of family Grandma Evelyn wanted me to have. At the last dinner, Aunt Marie asked, "Do you ever think about reconciling with your parents?" Only if they genuinely acknowledge what they did, not justify it, not minimize it, actually acknowledge it. Have they? No, every attempt at contact has been about what I owe them, never about what they did to me. Then you're right to maintain boundaries. Uncle Thomas added, forgiveness without accountability isn't forgiveness, it's just enabling. He's right, I'm not holding a grudge, I'm holding a boundary, there's a difference. The moments that matter, asterisk. 3 months ago, I was teaching a workshop. A woman in her 50s was building a bookshelf. She was crying while using the saw. I stopped the group. Are you okay? My ex-husband told me I was useless with my hands, that I'd never build anything, that I should stick to cooking and cleaning. And now I'm building a bookshelf in my own house that I bought after the divorce, using tools I own, and he can't say a damn thing about it. The whole group cheered. That's why I do this, not for the money, for that moment. The moment when a woman realizes she's capable of more than she was told. I have that moment every day in this house. Every time I look at the cabinets I built, the floors I installed, the walls I drywalled, the home I created. Despite being told I was just handy. Despite being given a wreck while my sister got a luxury apartment. Despite being underestimated my entire life. I built this, and no one can take it from me. Looking forward, asterisk. Next month, I'm being featured in a national woodworking magazine. Full spread about my work and my story. In the spring, I'm launching an online course, Furniture Restoration for Beginners. In the summer, I'm hosting a week-long intensive workshop. 5 days, 4 nights, full immersion in restoration techniques. I'm writing a book proposal about my renovation journey. Working title, Built by Hand, How I Transformed a Wreck into a Home and Found My Worth. My business is thriving, my teaching is fulfilling, my property is my sanctuary, and I did it all without my parents' help, without their approval. Without their recognition, because I didn't need any of that. I had my grandmother's belief, my own skills, my determination. That was enough. The real inheritance, asterisk. My parents thought they were giving me a wreck. My grandmother knew she was giving me a foundation. The difference between those two perspectives is everything. My parents saw broken. Grandma Evelyn saw potential. My parents saw burden. Grandma Evelyn saw opportunity. My parents saw punishment. Grandma Evelyn saw gift. The dilapidated house wasn't the inheritance. The belief that I could transform it, that was the inheritance. The property itself was just the canvas. I painted the masterpiece, the letter I'll never send, asterisk. Sometimes I draft letters to my parents. I never send them, but writing helps. The latest one. You gave me a falling apart house and thought you were punishing me. You were actually setting me free. Free from needing your approval. Free from competing with Ashley. Free from the narrative that I was less than. You gave me a wreck and expected me to fail. I built a home and a business and a life worth living. You tried to take it back when you realized its value. But you can't take what was never yours to give. Grandma Evelyn gave me this property. I gave it value. You gave me nothing but lessons in what not to be. And I'm grateful for those lessons. Because they taught me, asterisk. Worth isn't assigned by parents. It's built by your own hands. And mine built something beautiful. Something you can never touch. Something you'll never understand. Because you only see surface. Grandma saw depth. And depth is what builds things that last. I fold the letter. Put it with the others. Someday maybe I'll send one, but probably not, because they don't need to read it. I needed to write it, and that's enough. The truth, asterisk. My parents gave me an old, dilapidated house and my sister a luxury apartment. They thought that was unequal in Ashley's favor. It was unequal in mine, because Ashley got something she didn't earn and couldn't maintain. I got something I transformed with my own hands. Ashley lost her apartment to debt and foreclosure. I built equity worth $630,000. They gave me less because they valued me less. Turns out they gave me more because I valued it more. The dilapidated house became my greatest asset, not because of what it was, but because of what I made it. And in making it, I made myself into someone who doesn't need their validation, someone who builds her own worth. someone who owns her own life. Literally, legally, completely. The deed is in my name, the value is from my work, the future is mine to build, and I'm just getting started.